Hello and welcome back to D.E. Yeager Woodworking. Today we take these 4 different types of hardwood stock from this to this. A deep, rich colored cutting board with a weave type pattern that is sure to attract some attention from your guests. So let's head back into the shop and see how to create this beautiful board. I'm starting this board with 24 pieces of stock, 6 each of PADAUK, purpleheart, hard maple, and walnut. Each piece is 16 inches long by 2 inches wide by 3/4 of an inch thick. But I'm going to cut each of these pieces lengthwise in half. They're really too thin to safely cut on the table saw, so we head over to the bandsaw. I set my bandsaw fence so that when passing each piece of stock through the blade, I'll get roughly 2 equal width pieces. Here's a view of one of each of the pieces, but I'll do this for all 24 pieces of stock. Now that I've passed all wood through the bandsaw, I have a total of 48 pieces, somewhat equal in length, width, and thickness. However, right now I have essentially a smooth side and rough side to each of these pieces. This is the first process to undertake in refining each piece so that it is more uniform in thickness. I'll do this with the drum sander. I run each piece of stock with the rough side up and the smooth side against the belt. This will remove the small grooves caused by the flexing of the bandsaw blade as they were passed through. The other thing I'm trying to achieve when sanding the thickness of each piece is to get each piece to a nominal thickness of a little less than 1/4 of an inch. You'll see where that comes into play when I begin assembling the pieces together. Now that all pieces have been sanded to thickness, you can see from this graphic how I plan to assemble each piece. Starting at the bottom, I'll take a piece of maple, then a piece of purpleheart, a piece of PADAUK, and then a piece of walnut, and repeat that until I have doubled that layering pattern. Now it's time to glue up this layered pattern, with 8 total pieces in each assembly, 2 of each type of wood. I'm using some parchment paper between each assembly so that I only have to perform one glue up. With a few extra clamps in place, I'll leave this to dry overnight, although I'll come back in about an hour to remove some of the partially dried glue that was squeezed out during the clamping process. After an overnight drying time, I unclamp the assemblies and get them ready to send through the drum sander. One side of each assembly has more residual glue, so I'll make sure to place them face up through the sander. Once I'm happy with the trueness of the surface, I'll send the opposite side of each piece face up through the sander. I'll do this until I have 4 equal length sides. With each assembly now at a squareness of a little less than 2 inches on each side, I'm going to alternate each piece in this next glue up. This will begin to establish the pattern of the cutting board. As I finalize this glue up, I really want to make sure to remove as much glue squeeze out as possible so that it doesn't harden and create an uneven surface. I don't want to remove any more material than necessary when sending this through the drum sander tomorrow, or I'll risk losing the pattern. As I begin to send the assembly through the drum sander, I'll take very shallow passes. I only want to remove the dried glue and as little of the wood surface as possible. Once one side is done, I'll flip it over and remove any glue on the opposite side, again making as shallow passes as possible. It's now time to section this board into equal width pieces. For this, I'll use my table saw sled. After squaring up one edge, I'll set a width marker of 1 1/4 inches and begin cross-cutting the assembly to get as many pieces as it will yield. When I get close to the end, I'll switch back to my saw fence and make the final cut. It's safer and much more accurate. I never want to make a cut that I don't feel safe making. It's now time to reveal the pattern for this cutting board. First, I'll lay each piece down flat, and then I'll take every other piece and turn it 180 degrees. After pondering the number of pieces and size, I think I'll make a smaller matching board to go with the larger one. We've reached the final glue-up stage, and I'll need to take special care when aligning each piece to retain the pattern. I'll lay down a piece of MDF with a piece of parchment paper to prevent the glue-up from sticking. After I've checked the alignment across the board, I'll slowly begin to apply clamping pressure. And as before, it's necessary to remove any glue squeeze out to reduce the amount of sanding required. Lastly, I'll need to apply some downward force to prevent any vertical shifting when the clamping pressure is applied. It's good to see that I finally found a use for those weights. Oh yeah, don't forget about the smaller board. We've got to perform a glue up on it as well. One last trip through the drum sander to true the surfaces of these boards, and then it's on to hand sanding. For this board, I decided to add a 45-degree chamfer on all edges so that the board was easier to grip when laying flat on a table. I can see now that some sharpening or replacement router bits are in order. It's time for sanding. For most cutting boards, my process is to use 120, 180, 240, and 320 grit sandpapers. Before each grit, I like to scribble lines across the board so that I can easily determine that I've covered the entire surface of the board during the sanding process. I need to make sure that I hit those chamfers with the sander as well. After the entire board has been sanded with one grit, the process is pretty much a rinse and repeat with each subsequent grit. Before beginning the sanding process with the 320 grit paper, I like to raise the grain of the wood by lightly spraying all sides with water. When the water has completely dried, I proceed with the final 320 grit sanding. Before proceeding to the treatment phase, I'll run both boards through my laser to engrave my traditional finishing logo. It's into the bath we go. Food safe mineral oil bath, that is. I'll let both boards get a good 15-minute soak and then place them on the drip dry rack overnight. It's the final day for these cutting boards. I'll apply a food-safe cutting board conditioner to all sides of both boards and then wipe them down with a clean paper towel. I have to say, I am amazed at the depth of color that the different wood types produced. The PADAUK is a deep red rather than the orange color it boasts, and the purpleheart has a deep blue hue. Along with the richness of the walnut and the contrast of the maple, this board turned out very impressive, and I'm really happy with the large and smaller accompanying board arrangement. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. If you did, please give this video a like. If you have questions, please leave me a comment below. I will try to answer all comments as soon as possible. Feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications, as I have some future videos in the works. As always, thanks for watching.